Hello everyone, now I got the second Night of Lost Souls event, which is for children. So unlike the last challenge, this challenge has a lot more moving parts, but there's way less RNG to deal with, and frankly I prefer it this way. Following the footsteps in one of the story missions during this event, you need to bring Akka next to each and every one of the kids on this map, and then cast her treat skill on them to rescue them. Unlike the story mission, the treat this time only has a 1 square range, and there's quite a few enemies around the map trying to obstruct you from your goal. So right at the start, the groups on the left and the right are going to close in on your group. You can take your pick on which one you want to go for first, but I personally found it a lot more effective to go for the right group first. This allows me to stay near the starting point where there's a lot of choke points for me to take advantage of for later on in this map. You can also see that I lined up Akka on the first turn such that she can reach the kid that's coming in from the right on the second turn. An important thing to know during this map is to learn how to use Holy Word very liberally with both Sophia and Gerald and Layla. The heal spell from Sophia is actually going to be cast very rarely. Because there's so many demons running around on this map, the Holy Word from them is able to one-shot a great deal of the enemies on this map while providing all the heals that you need. Now this ghost on the left is about to cast Ghost Hand on my Gerald and Layla. Now generally speaking it's pretty much impossible to kill these guys before they do something like this, so you want them to cast the Ghost Hand spell on either Layla or Sophia. You don't want Gerald locked down because he has a melee unit, and obviously you don't want Akka locked down because then she can't run around freeing the kids. However, it is worth noting that the Ghost Hand skill only reduces your movement by 5, so for Gerald, if you're able to get the Wild Power buff from Akka onto him, he will still be able to move 2 blocks, which is actually something I'm going to be taking advantage of later on in this map. So now I use Wild Power for the first time just so Gerald can reach that Undead Knight that happens to be exactly 7 squares away from him. You want to do everything you can on this map to engage the enemy instead of having them engage you, especially the melee enemies. Because their attack power is actually quite high. In my opinion, the most dangerous opponents on this map are actually the Vampire Bite and the Gargoyle on the bottom of the screen. Because unlike the demon enemies, they're going to be doing full damage to your holy units, which is Sophia and Layla, and they are actually very frail. Also, you can see that I just used Rewind here on Sophia, not only to use as a heal, but also to actually get Holy Word back up even though it's only a 1 CD skill. Like I said, you want to spam Holy Word a lot on this map. It allows you to heal and deal damage enough so that you don't get overwhelmed by the enemies coming in at you. And to that end, once again, I'm going to be taking advantage of this choke point in between the 2 houses. Instead of using the Wolfie that I just got for Akka to cast another spell, I'm actually just going to use it to block this choke point and give myself some more time to do some cleanup before I engage the next group of enemies. You might also notice that I'm backing up a little bit here. The main reason for that is that these children that you have to rescue are also very frail. If you leave Gerald in range of them especially, there's a pretty good chance that he might just counter them to death. And obviously that's a game over because killing kids is a no-no. Thankfully Zalone was merciful enough to not give these kids like 10,000 attack for no reason, and you could just put Sophia there to tank a hit from them. You'll actually notice that even attacking into Sophia, they'll lose all their soldiers. Also, if you let Sophia body block them like this, you can actually let them attack into her one more time before they're in real danger. But it's better to have Akka close by like I do here, so just convert them immediately, because the treat skill on Akka actually does have a 1-turn cooldown, so if you have too many of them crowded together, that can also be a problem. So here the choke point is going to be in danger because obviously I'm going to lose the wolf. The wolf is not very sturdy, but because Gerald is back to full health, I can now use him as the body block at the choke point instead. From here, the rest of the map should fall into place pretty easily. There's a skeleton coming in on the right side that Layla should have no trouble taking out with Holy Word. The gargoyle coming in from the bottom is a threat, but with the combined forces of Sophia and Akka, I should be able to take him out before he does any real damage. And of course, the skeleton mage is really no concern at all. He is another demon unit and he'll do basically 0 damage to Sophia. And of course, there's a kid falling right behind him that Akka can convert afterwards. So after that, it's just a matter of managing this choke point properly, and I believe for the most part this strategy that I showed here should have very little RNG. Now there is a little bit of RNG involved because there is like magic defense break and some other skills on this map, and I actually do use Death Howl once from Akka, although I don't think the debuffs I got from that really matter in this case. The worst thing that could have happened here was just having Gerald die, but by the time Gerald is dead, I should have been able to take care of most of the enemies and be able to clean it up with who I have left. Anyway, this was a pretty simple challenge. I think most of you probably figured it out. That might help. So I'll see you guys in the next video.